Katseye's Jin ad versus Sydney Sweeney. Jiyoon leaves Izna. But what the heck is this? Wonyoung's arm hair. Soobin revealing very troubling information and so much more in today's episode of Totally Legit K-pop News with me, Angelina. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. As for my friendless behavior, I've been playing way too much Genshin and my rib hurts from poor posture, so I don't wish this on anyone. But without further ado, let's get into today's news. Okay, so Katseye recently did an ad for Gap and they're decked out in denim. Now, if you hate denim, I'm sorry, but copyright claim. But it's just such a fun ad. We have some photos as well. Everybody again all dressed in denim. So aside from it being Katseye, why are people heavily discussing this ad? Well, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard of Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad. Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often result— I don't remember the rest.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
And then she's like, my genes are blue. And a lot of people were like, you know, eugenics, this is not great. Because of course you can have genes as in denim or genes as in G-E-N-E-S. So when they say Sydney Sweeney has great genes, I mean, some people thought it was obviously in regards to her visuals. And then other people were like, well, it's in regards to her visuals, basically saying blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, this went so viral, sparking so many conversations. Again, unless you've been living under a rock, I highly doubt you haven't heard about this before. So with Katseye doing an unproblematic denim ad, people are really praising them, with some commenters saying Sydney Sweeney was on crying in a corner. Now this is an ad for jeans. Here's some more comments. The advertisement is so good. It will sell well because it includes all races. The ad itself was made well too. Great video. So cool. The concept was good, but Katseye really did well. I suddenly want to buy Gap now. They made it well. They're so pretty and suit the brand well. Powerful on your own, even better together. This phrase fits perfectly with them. They chose excellent members. So all that to say, people are absolutely loving the ad. It's just so fun and unproblematic. In fact, a lot of people think this is a direct response to Sydney Sweeney's ad. This Katseye Gap ad is actually so fascinating as an antithesis to the Sydney Sweeney campaign. Katseye for Gap is like the opposite of Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, and we love to see it. Why'd Katseye just replace Sydney Sweeney? So on and so forth. So of course, let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. Yesterday, we found out that Jiyoon would be leaving Izna. Now, of course, she had been on hiatus for around 6 months when we finally found out that she would be leaving the group due to quote-unquote health reasons. Now, it's always really sad when a member leaves a group, especially due to quote-unquote health reasons, and we don't know what the health reasons are. You know, a lot of people assuming that she's sick and she's not recovering fast enough, so the company's just kicking her out. Now, these are just theories. Keep that in mind, okay? Because, of course, the cited reasons are health reasons. We don't know what the health reasons are, but it doesn't stop fans from speculating, right? But if there are health reasons at play here and the company just wants to kick the member out after 6 months, fans of course would not be okay with that. Fans are more than happy to wait for their idols to come back, right? But here's Wakeone's statement. We sincerely thank all the fans who always cherish and support Izna. We would like to inform you about the future activities of member Jiyoon. After long and careful consideration, Jiyoon has decided to conclude team activities. Since the beginning of the year, Jiyoon has been focusing on rest and recovery, and during that time, the company and the artist had in-depth discussions about the direction of future activities. As a result, it was decided that Jiyoon will be stepping away from group activities with health as the top priority. So of course, they will continue on as a 6-member group as they have been for the past 6 months. And of course, the company is apologizing for this news. Fans are not happy, of course, when a member leaves a group or is kicked out of a group. It's never clear which one it really is. Of course, the member will be like, no, I'm leaving to protect the group or this or that. Unless they're like actually kicked out and they deserve to be kicked out. I think that's a different story, but you get what I mean, right? Now, on one hand, there are some fans who are happy for her. You know, if she's having health reasons, if by chance she was having a hard time being an idol, then having the opportunity to be let go is amazing. But on the other hand, if she was having health reasons and the company was just being too quick to kick her out, then that's obviously not great, right? However, in a weird twist of events, people found that if you went to Wakeone's website and went to the artist tab, you found Jiyoon by herself as seemingly a solo artist, with Izna right below her as a 6-member group. So fans were even more confused as to why she left the group if the company might just make her go solo. And now we have confirmed that she did not leave Izna because of health issues. Wakeone is lying to our faces and they will probably keep her in the basement for the next 7 years. If she's really stuck under that 7-year contract, what was the rush in removing her from Izna after only 6 months? We would have and still would wait for her however however long she needed. This is so Wakwon is making Jiyoon go solo but couldn't keep her in Izna. I'm so confused. So fans have no idea what is going on. What is the company doing? The only time I can think of something similar happening is with Rise and Seongan, but like that was a whole scandal where someone was in a group, they got removed from the group, and then the company's like, well, you can go solo by yourself. Or wasn't it Wonho from Monster X as well, who's like a solo artist under like a sub-label of his original company or something like that? Regardless, this has brought up a lot of feelings for K-pop stans who have compared this to Garam being kicked out of Le Sserafim, Soojin being kicked out of Idol, Youngso leaving Island before debut. Because a lot of fans feel it's really unfair that companies have all this power, obviously, that if an idol wants to leave their group, they're pretty much stuck. But if a company just wants to get rid of you, you don't really have any rights at that point. And of course, the lack of transparency from companies as well is really frustrating for fans. But with that, let's read some of your comments about the news of her leaving Izna. That's so sad. I really liked her voice, but I wasn't surprised. She only appeared in the debut and there have been, I think, 2 comebacks. Izna now has become part of the 6-member curse in the K-pop industry. She's one of the group's standouts and main vocalists. She's also my bias as someone who saw Island 2. I'm truly heartbroken. I hope she re-debuts with Fuko. That would be a perfect twist. No, this is so sad, but I hope she takes care of herself. I hope she comes back as a soloist, but if she doesn't want to be an idol anymore, that's fine too. This is so sad. She was my bias wrecker, but I hope she does well in her future endeavors. It's genuinely so surprising. I don't know why, but I actually thought she'd come back after a certain amount of time. To be honest, I think it's kind of weird that she decided to leave. Like, everyone who watched Island 2 knows how much she went through and how hard she worked to debut, even with all the evil edits. It's just crazy to think someone would drop their biggest dream like that, but I guess all we can do now is support her. I could definitely picture somebody being so determined, this is my dream, this is everything I want. But then when it comes to the reality of it all, getting overwhelmed and realizing maybe it's not for you, or maybe the simple fact that you're just expendable to your company. I mean, we obviously don't know, right? But with this, there's a lot of people also saying like she was on hiatus for 6 months and then she left, so this must mean that so-and-so member who's been on hiatus is probably going to leave their group too. I mean, there's a lot of examples of idols who have left for up to a year and they've come back. So like, we definitely want to normalize people taking breaks, people going on hiatus, you know what I mean? But I digress. What is going on with Wonyoung? There's just been article after article about this poor girl. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the arm hair. I can't imagine going viral for barely visible arm hair in this day and age. And this is just one of those situations that is incredibly frustrating. And I can't even say that in K-pop there's a double standard, because in K-pop male idols are also expected to have a clean shaven face. Like if a male idol shows up with a 5 o'clock shadow, people are angry. If they have armpit hair, people are like, ooh. Like male idols even remove their armpit hair and their stomach hair. That wasn't a thing in second gen, but it's still pretty wild, I would say. So when you post this ad for Bulgari and people are like, oh, I'm a little shocked that she has arm hair. Like the original post is basically saying, you know, oh, doesn't this kind of go against her perfect idol image? Like I thought she would have better self-management type thing. So here's some comments, because of course a lot of fans are like, what in the world is this conversation? Isn't it kind of psychotic how you're analyzing other people down to the smallest detail? Why don't you try analyzing yourself instead? Are there even any girls who shave their arms? Korean girlies have thin hair, so I've never seen anyone who did. Most celebrities have arm hair, and it seems like only Japanese girlies do it. Even Chinese girlies and Western girlies don't. Anyways, this post doesn't seem like it's criticizing Wonyoung particularly, so why are people sensitive? She's just known to be a perfect idol, so people would think that she'd shave areas as visible as her arm. It's not like they're saying they don't want to look at her arm because of it or something. Is that considered a lot? I don't even think it's obvious because her hair is so thin. Isn't it okay to have that much hair? It's not like she has a lot of hair growth on, and you can't even see it unless you look carefully. Funnily enough, this isn't even the first time Wonyoung has gone viral for her arm hair. There was this picture, I believe, where people were like, shocked. But let's read some more comments about this. This is such a weird thing for people to obsess over. Being human and having hair, it's not even that visible, WTF. Free Wonyoung from these people. They'd have a heart attack if they saw my arms. It's honestly refreshing that a female idol just leaves her arm hair be. The fact that whenever a K-pop idol is shown having something as simple as body hair makes fans freak out just shows how inhumane and how out of touch the K-pop industry is. Making a very natural part of the human body that everyone has seem strange and shocking is actually disgusting and should be talked about more. I love this. In my opinion, you don't get mad at a bird for having feathers, so... birds. Let me know your thoughts, but that is not it for Wonyoung, because people have been discussing whether or not she is still the center of IVE, if she's being replaced as the center of IVE. Because fans were saying that it was usually her and Yujin who were the center, but it seems like that's not really the case anymore. But then this brings us to people criticizing her for her dancing, the energy in this dance challenge that the group posted. So this is for XOXZ, and people were saying, you know, she's not really doing the hair flip like everybody else. We can see here again the hair flip. Is Jung Wonyoung always like that? She kind of dances carelessly. Since my focus naturally goes to Wonyoung, I keep watching her, but she's moving so weakly it's kind of jarring. Seeing her next to other members, the difference really stands out. Don't make me sad. She's probably just tired. I get that Wonyoung doesn't want to mess up her hair, but not moving at all makes her look like she can't dance even more. It's not that the dance is off. Anyone can see she's just dancing half-heartedly like a wooden puppet. So my first thought is definitely like hairstyle. If you have bangs, I feel like if you did a full out hair flip, it would look a lot worse. You know, if your hair's already like parted down the middle and it's a little, you know, wavy, if you're doing the hair flip, I feel like it looks a lot better. And then another thing is we never know if an idol is sick or not. Idols often have to work through illnesses and we don't know. I can't imagine having a migraine, having a headache, just not feeling well and having to like flip my head around. I don't know if you've ever done like if you've ever danced to Boombaya. Like after one time, your head doesn't feel well. I don't know if that's just me, but that was my first thought personally. Let's read what some of you guys are thinking. 5 words only. It was never that serious. One of millions of Wonyoung allegations. Let's not act like the company isn't likely pushing her to prioritize her looks and take care of her perfect princess image. Like that's just the character she's trying to sell. Idols have different roles to fill based on what the company assigns to them. I would think it was her hairstyle. I don't know if other idols with similar hairstyles have done the same. The other girls have their hair down, so it's easier to do the hair flip. If you just look at the center, she blends in with them just fine. I didn't even notice her lazy dancing until I focused on only her and she's not in the center, so I wasn't. So of course, let me know your thoughts about that as well. Just very quickly though, I did want to clarify what I meant by there's not even a double standard in K-pop when it comes to removing body hair. I was talking about how the conversation is frustrating. I think like in everyday life outside of K-pop, because I think it's not typical. I don't know. Is it typical for men to remove their armpit hair and stomach hair? In K-pop, both male idols and female idols seem to be held to the same hair removal standards. Like, I don't know, maybe you point something out and be like, oh, okay, you're right actually. But the conversation in general is really frustrating when it comes to people being like, well, you're a woman, so you need to be hairless. And it's like, oh, they're like, oh, these are the benefits of being hairless, but it only applies to you. Like, that is so frustrating. So I just kind of wanted to clarify that, if that even makes any sense. We're going to move on to TXT Soobin, who revealed some very troubling information about his time as a trainee. I think it's quite a sensitive topic, so if you'd like to skip, please feel free. But we will be making mentions of, and this has sparked a huge conversation surrounding the treatment of trainees and the treatment of idols today. Because essentially Soobin went on Weverse Live. Soobin basically shared that they were often physically disciplined as trainees. So basically hit. I'm really sorry about the censorship, but just know when I say physical discipline, that's what it is. Essentially, he revealed that when he and Taeyeon were middle schoolers, they were asked to suddenly learn the difficult choreography by 17. And at that point, they had only started dancing for a week or two. They watched the video at half speed, but it seems they weren't able to execute it well. And it seems Taeyeon was actually watching the live stream at this point, so he commented that they were physically disciplined at that point. He's basically recounting this as a scary story. They were very young. And it's not like the choreographers were teaching them the choreography. They were told to learn it all by themselves. And he frames it as saying, wow, I was really scared when we were practicing for this song. Then he goes on to say that the physical discipline wasn't as bad for them because there were people who were worse than them. But Taeyeon commenting on the live saying, for those who want to become trainees, they don't do that anymore. They'll get in trouble if they do that. Soobin agreeing as well. They don't do physical punishments these days. They had physical punishments back then, but if they physically punish someone now, they'd get in huge trouble. Obviously, fans were disgusted with this information. We already, to an extent know the treatment of trainees. Of course, people trying to piece together the timeline of things. It must have been around 2015. Needless to say, fans were absolutely disgusted by learning this information, saying that they were literally just children, that they were under the company's care, likely away from their parents, and that's how they were treating them. It's absolutely disgusting, but I'm honestly so glad that that he said something. Like, it's never too late to hold companies accountable. If there are any second gen fans here, are there any idols who have talked about this before, this being, you know, a common practice? Was it ever a known thing, like an open secret type thing? Needless to say, when we say things like companies don't care about you, they don't even care about their idols. Their idols are expendable. The end goal will always be about making money. So I think there's never really a reason to be defending these companies, and I stand by that. So with that, we're going to be moving on to Kpop Shenanigans, which are basically fun little things that have happened in K-pop recently and or quick news. The producer behind Like Ooh Ah by Twice revealed that the song was originally made for Red Velvet, but that it didn't quite suit them, though JYP was debuting a girl group and fit them, so they debuted with Like Ooh Ah. Aespa coming out with a new fan light. Now, I don't know what the difference is between light stick and fan light, but people had a lot to say about this design, that it looks like a pretzel, that is actually so genius because it like matches their logo, that is much more colorful than the old one. I think there's a lot of, you know, divisive opinions about it, so let me know what you think of Aespa's new fan light. People are discussing Young Posse's lyrics for their song Soju. Here's the English translation. Shake it, my fatty, drop your panties, chug my party, shoddy like it greasy, I'm not gang gang gang. Now people have been discussing this given some of the members' ages. So a lot of people calling these lyrics out as inappropriate, especially for a song literally named Soju. I saw someone say that, like, you know, the phrase take off your panties is slang for like lose your mind in Korean. But what do you think of the lyrics? Rosé's dog Hank has been receiving backlash for appearing on Dog. Some people coming for Hank's visuals, people starting a whole fan war about it, because I believe that they said Hank was like one of the most followed pets, and people were like, actually he's not. A whole mess. Personally, I feel like Kevin should be on Dog, but that's just me. People have been discussing Say My Name's schedule from morning to night. They are booked and busy. And a lot of people are asking why anyone would want to become an idol. They arrive at the broadcasting station at 3:57 a.m. So of course they had to get ready and prepare before that. So then at 5 a.m., they were still getting ready for the music broadcast. Then they had a fan meeting with fans, and then they went to perform again. Then of course they had to film TikToks. At 6 p.m., they had another fan sign. And then at 10 p.m., they went back to the company and were taking lessons. So people were discussing this a lot, asking why anyone would want to do this. And then something I wanted to share with you, I don't know if you guys have seen Twice's One Spark has sparked a new challenge on TikTok with water bottles. Like, you poke holes in the top of a water bottle, you have a light behind you, and you do the choreography, and like just the way the choreography is made is so perfect in tandem with the water and the light behind you, and there are so many people doing it, and it is so beautiful. I'm sure you guys have seen it before, but so this user Yazamoko, just look how beautiful this is. I'll change the audio now. Like, just with the sparkles and everything. I don't know if you guys have seen this trend, but it's so pretty. So yeah, I reckon that is basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. And as for me, I'm gonna get going, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Oh, Chamali, Chamali. What song is that? Da 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 da.